Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for July 24th, 2012. It's a Tuesday, and it's starting off rather mild and rather humid out there, but luckily we don't have any thunderstorms, at least not yet, impacting the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan area. We have temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 70s over the northern tier, especially around Connecticut, northern New Jersey, the Hudson River Valley, to the upper 70s to lower 80s over much of the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan area, including much of central and southern New Jersey. Also notice our dew points are rather high right now, ranging anywhere from the upper 60s to lower 70s. Basically, it's warm and it's humid out there, and we do have a little bit of fog that's going to be lifting by 10 a.m. But for the most part, it's a rather pleasant morning. But there is a threat for thunderstorms. Let's take a look at the water vapor satellite picture. Now, as you know, I love using this water vapor satellite picture because it shows you so much about what's going on in the atmosphere. And I think you're probably having your attention drawn to this area right here. This area is where we're seeing a lot of strong disturbances developing over the central Great Lakes and the Ohio River Valley and diving to the southeast. This is a signature of a developing mesoscale convective system, potentially a derecho, that will dive from the Ohio River Valley right into the southern mid-Atlantic. Now, what impacts will that have on us? Well, what that will do is create a focus of tremendous amount of lifting and basically a lot of rising air, should I say, over the southern mid-Atlantic, and that leads to enhancement of sinking air over the northern mid-Atlantic. So we're having a lot of focus of lifting over New England, a lot of focus of lifting over the southern mid-Atlantic and Ohio River Valley, and that tends to suppress the development of thunderstorms over the northern mid-Atlantic, and that's what I'm expecting for today. Now, with all this humid air in the atmosphere and a cold front approaching from the northwest, I can't rule out a thunderstorm completely, and any thunderstorm that does develop is going to have the potential to reach severe levels, producing wind gusts over 60 miles per hour, large hail, potentially up to 2 inches in diameter, very heavy downpours, frequent and deadly lightning. But I think that threat will be isolated because of the sinking air developing in association with the rising air developing over the Ohio River Valley and eventually the southern mid-Atlantic. Now, when we take a look at the radar, you can see this actually starting to develop. Thunderstorms are developing over southwestern Pennsylvania, over the Ohio River Valley, over portions of West Virginia, and they're all diving to the southeast. Basically, you can see this trajectory setting up to the south of the Philadelphia metropolitan area. Meanwhile, over the northern mid-Atlantic and basically over the eastern Great Lakes, we're not really seeing much in the way of development. We have a few isolated showers over far northern New York, but for the most part, we're remaining basically dry. And even more impressively, when we take a look at the visible satellite picture, you can see the convection clearly starting to develop over the Ohio River Valley and southern mid-Atlantic. In fact, you can see some cumulus starting to really start to get its act together, a nice cumulus field starting to develop over the southern mid-Atlantic. But over the northern mid-Atlantic, we're really seeing a lack of development here, lack of organization with the potential cloud cover and cumulus field, which tells me that the thunderstorm threat is going to be isolated. So we're dealing with generally clear skies, a few areas of fog, but for the most part that fog is lifting, and we're seeing a general change in the weather pattern in association with the potential for these thunderstorms. I do think they will remain isolated, and then once this cold front moves through, well, the humidity will go with it. So let's take a look at the latest model guidance using the European model guidance from the Penn State EWOL website. Again, for this evening, that cold front will move through. The majority of the lifting, again, should be focused over the southern mid-Atlantic and New England, keeping our threat for thunderstorms more of an isolated nature. Again, any thunderstorm that does develop will have the potential to reach severe levels, but that development will be isolated. Temperatures today will rise into the upper 80s to low 90s along the coast, and low to mid 90s away from the coast. With the humid conditions in place, that heat index is going to get awfully close to 100 degrees. So use some caution, drink plenty of water, and stay safe out there. For tomorrow, high pressure will be in control. Much lower humidity will be in place. Temperatures will range from the lower to mid 80s along the coast, mid to upper 80s elsewhere. Generally, a very pleasant day is on the way for Wednesday. Then from Thursday on through this weekend, we're going to be under the influence of passing disturbances and a rather humid air mass in place. Pretty much what we're going to see is a trough trying to dig itself into the Great Lakes, a ridge locking itself in over Bermuda and the western Atlantic, and that's going to produce a southwesterly flow aloft and at the mid-levels, transporting plenty of warm and humid air into the region, all the while keeping the threat of thunderstorms in place each afternoon and evening over the northern mid-Atlantic on through the weekend. And that, of course, is going to keep us on guard for isolated thunderstorms every afternoon and evening, with temperatures ranging from the upper 80s to lower 90s along the coast and lower to mid 90s elsewhere. The key point here is that it's going to be humid each one of those days. Thereafter, we're going to start to see a gradual change in the weather pattern with more of a trough in the east starting to take hold. And that, of course, is going to mean that we're going to see a better threat for the potential for showers, but also temperatures falling back a little bit closer to normal and a little bit less humidity in the atmosphere. So changes are ahead, but they will be gradual. That is your forecast for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter and Facebook. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there.